One thing I think we could do a better job teaching children is about chances and about taking chances and the ability to learn from our mistakes. I think very often the age old expression, I'm going to give you one last chance, or we tell them, listen, you get two chances, you don't get a third, or strike three, you're out. And that tends to be when they're doing something negative or when they're in trouble. And unfortunately, I think that theme runs through them a lot deeper than we think. I think they take that to heart and they will forever remember in their brain that, oh, I messed up once, and so mom told me if I mess up again, that's it. I'm out of this sport, or I'm out of school, or I don't get to go hang out with my friends, or there's some consequence waiting for them if they fail or if they mess up. And it's our job as parents and the adults in their lives to teach them that there's a really big difference between failing and screwing up. Bad behavior or doing something that warrants getting in trouble is something that they need to view as important and a lesson they need to learn about being better. But it's a lesson about better behavior and acting more kind or more empathetic or whatever the case may be. I think there's a lot that can be said to telling them and teaching them that screwing up and messing up and failing are different things. If they mess up on a math test, we certainly don't tell them just that's it, one more mess up and we're taking you out of school. It's quite the opposite. We want them to get better at math and keep working at it and find a way to improve. But we have to be careful with this whole mantra of one more screw up and you're out, because the only way they will learn and the only way they will become abundant is if they truly understand that failure is one of the best learning opportunities they'll ever have, and failure and screwing up their behavior is definitely different. A great way to do this, I think, is to model that for them and put it into perspective. Talk to them about the things that you tried and maybe weren't great at first, and the things you stuck with, and all the learning lessons that came with them. One of the other traps I think we fall into is we as parents sometimes want to make ourselves look perfect, like we have it all figured out and we have all the answers. And that's okay when they're really little kids, because we want them to know that we are stable and grounded and we are here for them and we can solve any problem they have. But as they age and they get older, make sure you tell them your stories about what you tried that didn't work out. Tell them about the learning opportunities you had that came from failed businesses or things you wanted to start when you were a kid that just didn't end up going the way you wanted them to. And then in those include the things that really didn't go great at first, but then went kind of okay, and then went a little better, and then a little better still. The risk that we run is in school, and even when they get out of school, if they choose to go to college or in their professional career, we don't want them to think that they have one option. And if they meet that option with failure, then they have to stop and do something completely different. Failure is a setback, but it's also a tool, and it allows them the opportunity to learn and figure out what didn't go great so they can try again. The other side of that trying again coin is to remind them that they don't necessarily have to try again if they don't want to. It's okay to do something different. We put a lot of expectation on kids for them to decide what they want to do with the quote-unquote rest of their life pretty early on. You ask a high school senior, hey, where do you see yourself in 20 years? They can barely think past where they see themselves in 20 minutes after graduation. So if you're a parent or you have kids in your lives, do that for them. Remind them that there's a lot more to life than just picking one thing and worrying about whether or not they're going to be good at it.